being a creator in my mid-40s is very different than being a creator when I was in my 20s. So now that I am embedded in this Chicago art scene, I'm taking improv classes, and also I'm in the Second City Conservatory program. I get to work with all different kinds of artists and creators of all ages. And at first, it's a bit intimidating working with people half my age. But what I've realized is that if I stay true to myself and the experiences I've had in my life, it's becomes pretty magical to be able to bring what I have to the younger people, and then they also bring their own youthfulness and just a sort of fresh perspective on life that I don't have because I'm twice their age. So last night, I went to my friend Cameron's performing arts program. It was at the Museum of Contemporary Art. I thought it was an interesting piece of work, but it wasn't what I actually wanted to talk about today. But my friend Cameron did an amazing job, so I'm very proud of her, and she's in her 20s. So what I did come out of the experience last night is this idea for this video. The idea that creating in your 40s is different than creating in your 20s. And that's okay, right? We still have so much life to live if we're lucky, right? If I'm blessed with more years in my life, with double the amount of time that I have already lived, I would be so grateful for that. And I think about when I was in my 20s and how I was a completely different person, and I hadn't worked out my trauma from my childhood. I didn't really know myself much. I wasn't as secure. I didn't have a loving partner that I have now, and we've been married for 12 years. So being a creator in my mid-40s is such, it just feels different in a way that is actually quite amazing. I feel more safe and more secure in myself to bring all that I have to the table, to all my experiences. So the reason why I'm saying this is because Cameron and I are in our Second City Conservatory 2 program, and one of our classmates is turning late 40s this week. And so we celebrated her last night, just a little bit. We'll celebrate her more next week when we go back to class. But it got me thinking about this idea of what is it, how do we navigate being an older creator amongst younger creators? And I noticed this when I've been cast in the Second City Sketch Ensemble. So it's a few weeks of writing sketch scenes from improvisation, which I absolutely love. And my teacher is Jess Mitlow, who is the assistant director of the training center at Second City. So shout out to Jess. And 2 weeks ago, we had our first rehearsal for that, our first coming together for this group that got cast. And I feel so lucky to be part of this group because they are just so talented. But what was magical about it is that I was working with 2 young women. I believe they're in their 20s. And we had this scene where we are all in a sorority. And the first time we tried this scene as an improvisational scene, it was lackluster. And we were just doing it amongst ourselves. The second time around, we did it in front of the class. And right before we go up, I told my scene partners that I'm going to be myself, like an older woman who will be bringing to them some experiences, but I'm a pledge, right? Pledging a sorority. So I know a lot about sorority life because I was president of the Pan-Hellenic Council at Rutgers when I was in college. So we went into that scene with me being a pledge. So there's this thing in Second City called a sort of status reversal, and that's kind of like the tipping point. So basically what happens is that I'm the pledge. I come in and I try to do something that looked good for the young sisters, right? Who I want to accept me as a new sister. They brought out their face mask and they said, oh, we're going to do a zebra face mask. And oh, look at this, this kind of cute face mask. And then I bring to them 24 karat gold face mask that I got from Paris from my 12-year anniversary with my husband. And then it just escalates from that, where they would bring in box wine. And then I brought in a case of Brunello de Montalcino from Montalcino, Italy, from Tuscany, Italy. And it was just so lovely what happened, because I made that tweak that I'm not trying to be young, right? Because the first time we had done the improv together, I didn't understand a lot of the references that they had, because I'm so much older than them. So instead now what I did was, with a little tweak of just being myself and bringing something that I know to the table, it helped elevate the scene. So another scene that I had helped create was around this pillow idea. And I told them about the pillow menu at the Westin. So I don't know, do you know about the pillow menu at the Westin hotels? So when you go to the Westin, you can choose the type of pillow you want to sleep on, and their beds you could actually buy. So everyone in class didn't know about it, but I travel a lot, and it's just one of those things that I love about that hotel chain. And that just like transpired into this amazing improv scene. It's becoming a sketch scene. So we're writing this down, where the front desk attendants are constantly asking questions to the newlyweds, the honeymooners, and then the honeymooners just want to go into their room already. So it's the whole idea of paradox of choice. So that's just what I've seen in creating with multi-generational collaboration. And even though it's intimidating at times for someone who is older like myself, and who isn't as trained in improv as some of these other young people are, or older people are, I'm seeing the gold in that, and the gold in the inclusion of multi-generations and multi-perspectives and multi-point of views, right? And this idea came about because our first comment on this channel from Kathy, again, she's a 74-year-old woman who is writing a novel for the first time. And I feel that is incredible. Why not? Why not? You have all this life experience that should be shared with the world. So wherever you are in life, whatever time you can bring to yourself, to give yourself, to create, use that. And don't be afraid to be yourself, and use all the experiences that you have in life if you are an older creator. And if you're a younger creator, think about how your freshness can bring new perspectives to an older creator, and how can you collaborate together to create beautiful stories and beautiful products. That's it for today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Who knows what we'll be talking about, but I hope you are having a great time and happy creating. Bye.